Have you ever just felt like you're capable of so much more, but I don't know, something's holding you back? If that sounds familiar, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to break down the blueprint from the book Master Your Mindset. And what it gives us is a real framework for change. And, it all kicks off with one single, really powerful idea. So, this one quote, it's pretty much the engine for everything we're about to cover. You can think of it like a domino effect, right? Your mindset knocks over your thinking knocks over your perspective. So what does that really mean? It means the control panel for your entire life is, and this is not an exaggeration, literally all in your head. And that right there, that's the core idea of the whole book. Your life is basically a mirror reflecting what's going on inside your mind. The opportunities you notice, the way you feel, the things you do. None of that is random stuff just happening to you. Nope, it's all a direct reflection of your inner world. I mean, think about it. If you're always thinking about what's lacking, you're going to see lack everywhere. But if you start focusing on what's possible, well, you'll find a way to build it. Okay, so where do we even begin? It all starts right here, inside our own heads. Before you can change anything on the outside, your actions, your future, you've got to get the foundation right. So let's dive in and master that inner world. All right, the absolute cornerstone of all this is something called a growth mindset. It sounds fancy, but it's actually a really simple and super powerful belief. It's the idea that your abilities are not set in stone. Your intelligence, your talents, your skills, they can all grow and develop if you put in the work. It's just this idea that you're always a work in progress. And look at this comparison here. It's amazing how just a tiny shift in your words can change, well, everything. A fixed mindset looks at a challenge and sees a brick wall. A growth mindset, it sees a hurdle to jump over. I can't do this turns into I'm still learning how to do this. I'm no good at this becomes mistakes are just helping me learn. So be honest for a second. Which side of this chart feels a little more like you right now? I love this quote because it just perfectly explains the chain of command inside our heads. See, it all starts with your thoughts. Those thoughts then trigger your emotions. And if you're not paying attention, those emotions can completely take over and start running your life. So the book argues that the real key, the secret, is to get control way back at the beginning, at the source, the thought itself. So the big question is, how do we actually do that? Well, the book lays out this super simple, really practical meditation. And the most important part, the absolute game changer, is step 5, observe your thoughts. You don't fight them, you don't judge them, you just watch them float by, kind of like clouds in the sky. When you do this, you start to create this little bit of space between you and your thoughts. And in that space, that's where you find the power to choose which thoughts you're actually going to listen to. Okay, so we've started working on our inner world. Now it's time for the fun part, turning all that internal work into real-world results. We're going to build an action system. This is where thought finally becomes tangible progress. It's where your mindset starts to become your reality. So the book suggests this really cool, really simple framework. It's called the 30 for 30 approach. Here's how it works. You just choose one skill or one habit you want to build. Then you dedicate just 30 minutes to it. But here's the key. You do it every single day for 30 days straight. The real magic isn't the 30 minutes, It's the unbroken streak of 30 days. That consistency is what really builds a new habit that sticks. And this little equation right here, this is the engine that makes that 30 for 30 thing work. You've got intensity, that's your focused 30 minutes of practice. And then you've got consistency, that's showing up day after day. The book makes it super clear that you absolutely need both. I mean, going all out for one day and then stopping, you'll just burn out. And kind of sort of showing up for 30 days with no focus, you won't get anywhere. It's putting them together that really creates unstoppable momentum. This is one of my all-time favorite quotes, and it's so central to what this book is all about. Think about it. That tiny little 1% improvement you make today, it doesn't just add up, it compounds. It's like putting money in a savings account. At first, you don't see much growth. But over time, those tiny daily efforts, they snowball. They grow exponentially into huge, life-changing transformations. So if you're thinking, okay, where do I even start with this? The book gives some great examples of tiny habits. And notice just how small and doable they are. I mean, making your bed, that's your first win of the day. A 1-minute cold shower, boom, instant discipline. Reading just 2 pages of a book, that's how you build a reading habit. The point is, these are the small hinges that swing the biggest door. All right, so we've worked on our inner world, we've built a system for taking action, and now we get to what might be the most exciting part of all, putting it all together to consciously, deliberately design the future you actually want. This is where we really see how the mind creates reality. Okay, so the last big idea in the book really hangs on this one single question. And it's a big one. What if? What if your thoughts are literally shaping your reality? What if this goes beyond just positive thinking? What if your thoughts are actual creative forces, almost like instructions you're sending out that shape the world you see around you every single day? So the book lays out this simple 3-step process for this. It's based on the idea of the law of attraction. Step 1 is ask. You've got to be super clear and intentional about what you want. Step 2 is believe. You have to truly, deeply believe that you're going to get it. And step 3 is receive. You have to be ready, open, and looking for it so you can grab it when it shows up. Now, listen up, because this next part is maybe the most important piece of the puzzle. This is not a passive thing. You don't just ask, believe, and then sit on the couch and wait for it to happen. The book is incredibly clear about this. Taking action is the bridge that connects what you want with actually getting it. Believing you're going to land a new job is great. It makes you notice the opportunities. But you still got to polish that resume, send the application, and crush the interview. Action is the secret ingredient. And this quote, this ancient piece of wisdom, just wraps up everything we've talked about perfectly, doesn't it? From the thoughts you decide to focus on, to the habits you build day by day, all the way to the future you create, it all starts in the mind. You can think of it like this. Your thoughts are the blueprint, but your actions are the builders who make it real. So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. You are the architect of your life. And you have the tools. You have a growth mindset, you have consistent action, you have intentional belief. So the real question isn't if you can build a new future. The question is, what kind of future are you gonna choose to build starting right now?